The child's father, Robert Easton, is with us.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
The custodians, Ms. Van Dusen and Ms. Easton, are here. I hope that that's Xavier, his head sticking up behind Ms. Easton, who looks like she's sleeping or trying to go to sleep. Are you laying down? I can't hear you. You got to turn your audio on. Child's attorney and guardian ad litem, Ms. Schrock, is here. Can't hear you, Ms. Easton.
There. We in chain room. I hear.
Do what?
I'm here.
Ma'am, I don't understand anything you've said.
She had a stroke in August, so her speech is a little slurred.
Okay. Is she required to lay down? Because I don't let people lay down during court.
I'm knocking at the door.
Don't shit.
She's sitting up. One sec.
If she has to lay down because of her medical condition, that's one thing, but we don't normally let people lay down even from home. I've had to make people get out of their beds. They're just laying there.
She's sitting up.
Okay. And I need to be able to see the child, and I can't see him because he's stuck behind Ms. Easton.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Schrock, can you give me an update on this case?
Yes, sir. The child remains placed in custody with his grandmother and aunt. If this court recalls, his father, Mr. Easton, wrote to the court some time ago requesting that he was interested in having custody returned to him of the child. And in response, the court entered an order asking him to complete several things, which at that time were not completed. Mr. Easton is now working on completing all of the things that the court had previously ordered him to do. He has sent the guardian several pay stubs. He sent me a copy of his lease. He has let me see. He also sent, it wasn't, I don't think per se, a criminal history report, but he sent, and I forwarded it to the court right before we got started, a check that the local jail completed on records that they had for him at that particular local jail, but it was not a statewide criminal history check. But it looks like he still needs to do a state, at least a statewide criminal history check. And he still needs to do the hair follicle drug screen. He reported to me that he was having to grow his hair out a little bit in order to do the hair follicle test because he didn't have enough hair to complete that. So I think that's something he's waiting to do. So we still need that, and we still need the criminal history report. But other than that, he's turned in everything. The child spent the entire summer with him this past summer, which would have been summer of 23. So the child's been having, significant contact and visitation with him. And for the most part, that went well. There were some complications, I think, between the parties and coordinating and getting the child back to Georgia to start school in the fall. But as far as the time that the child spent with his father, that went okay. It's my understanding that the current custodians are okay with the child reunifying with his father. Once the father has completed what he needs to, that's been requested of him by the court.
You folks who are under oath, is everything she told me, do you agree that all that is true?
Yes, Your Honor. Last year, I had undergone a surgery. I ended up
You were in a bad wreck, weren't you?
Yeah, June 22nd, 2022, I had got into a motorcycle accident. So from after that, the initial surgeon, he basically did a botched job on my leg, and my bone was going to proceed to protrude outwards out of my skin. So I had a surgery set up, and that surgery was around the time I was supposed to get everything together. So I was under medication, and I never had any help to get it done.
That's okay. But the visit this summer went well,
Oh, it was amazing.
and you've rehabilitated with your injuries, and you're able
Yeah.
to go ahead and finish things now?
Yes, I work at Forest River.
Yeah.
Okay, so about the criminal history report, I went down to the courthouse. I went down to the county jail, and that's where they sent me to. Everybody kept sending me there, and I told them it was a background check for court, and that's the only thing that they kept giving me. I got 2 of those because I have it's not in your guys' court dockets, but I have a court coming up April 16th for my daughter. And I'm setting
In
up
Georgia?
into possible custody with her because she wants to come up here.
Is that in Georgia?
No, that's in Indiana. It's in Indiana.
I can't hear you.
It's in Indiana. She stays in Vincennes, Indiana.
Before I forget it, what is your address now? I had, is it true that Notre Dame is thinking about giving up football?
Maybe basketball, soccer, or something like that, but nah, not football. That's what we known for. You knew it.
I came up there and watched Georgia beat y'all several.
Yeah, I mean, I finished. I knew I couldn't. I mean, it's
Y'all have a
okay.
nice stadium in a nice town.
We do good food.
Yeah, I got stranded. I couldn't get an Uber to get me back from the stadium back to my hotel. I finally,
You gave me a
hours
call.
later, I got back, but it took a while.
You would have gave me a call.
Yeah. Well, is this an apartment, a house?
It's a house. It's an house.
Okay. Are you renting it or owning it?
I'm actually written to own right now.
Okay. Who lives there with you now?
2 dogs.
Okay. No more people, no children, no adults.
No adults.
And what's the means of finances that allows you to pay the rent each month on the
I
house?
work. Okay, so I get Social Security for my injury, which is it varies right now from $650 a month to $831 a month. I also work. Now I just left a second interview. I work at Thor Motor Coach. It's in Elkhart. Pretty sure.
What do you do there?
I do RVs. I'm a metal worker. I do metal siding, and I
You work full time?
Yes. Our start time is 6 in the morning. By the time we're done, it's about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
How
And we get paid weekly. It's piece rate.
so what do you average on every week based on piece rate?
About $860 a week.
Do they take out taxes or is that
That's after taxes.
okay? Well, are you getting Social Security because of those motorcycle injuries?
Yes.
Did they?
Yeah. I don't work. I work full time, but our full time isn't 40 hours a week, so it actually allows me to be able to receive my Social Security because
you have to report your income to Social Security. Are you doing that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because you make more than most people I've ever seen on Social Security. Usually
Yeah,
you make that kind of
I
money.
should possibly be getting a letter back here soon because I just had to send in the information for my
Review.
health insurance,
Uh-huh.
for my health insurance, and for my Social Security because they have to pay me for set up for back pay.
How old is your daughter?
My daughter's 13. She's actually 4 months and 18 days, or 4 months and 4 days older than Xavier.
So they don't have the same mother.
No.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be able to financially support them, both of them and you?
Yeah, that's why I was
Two
out looking
dogs?
for. That's why I was out looking for the second job today, because they're cutting down our downtime to from 6 to 10 o'clock. So it gives me a little bit more time to, you know, try to find something else to do while they're at school.
Are you drawing checks from Social Security for either of these children?
No, I can't.
Well, I know. I'm going to see. People can't, but that didn't mean they don't.
No, I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm trying to get my son. I'm not trying to get locked up.
Good.
No, I actually talked to him because I didn't know if I could, but they said the reason why I was not allowed to in the beginning, that reason, if I was eligible to, I wouldn't have worked. I wouldn't have got a job because they would have been able to get receive something. The reason why I wasn't was because I had just got released from prison in 2021.
Yeah. You're not on probation or parole to any court now?
No,
Did you serve time in prison for?
I served time in prison for battery on an officer and probation violation of burglary.
Okay. Is it the address you just gave me on street in South Bend? Is that where Xavier spent the summer with you?
No, he actually spent the summer. I was staying at 111 in Indiana.
That's not even the last the last address you gave me last year.
No, I was when I ended up getting into the accident, it kind of got a little rough for me, so I was staying with my girlfriend at the time.
All right. Well, I was interested to hear what Xavier thought of where he was going to live with you, but he hasn't seen it. So, you've got all the running utilities.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not
gas, electric, water.
About to fall in or anything.
No. And I do construction, so everything works in that house. Only thing we don't have is central air. So summer is gonna be AC units.
What is your you got to go out and buy those window units?
I already have two already.
Oh, okay. How much do you pay in rent?
I pay $750 a month.
You couldn't rent a totem pole here for that.
And that's why I think I'm kind of fortunate to stay here for a little bit, save up some more money.
You ladies have any comment about his proposal? This isn't going to happen today because he's got to get the drug screen. And he's got to, I don't know what they do in Indiana, but here in Georgia, you can go to the sheriff and pay like $9 and they'll give you a 7-year Georgia criminal history of everything that happened to you in Georgia.
Okay. You said I could go to the sheriff's office? Because I went to they told me to go to jail. To the county jail.
Well, here, the county jail is the sheriff. I don't know what it is in Indiana, but
we have a different sheriff office.
Yeah.
Separate there. But I went there and I paid $8 and it was supposed to be a criminal history report.
Yeah. And you sent it to Miss Schrock and she says it doesn't look like a criminal history report.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm like, this is what it is, and they like, this is what you're supposed to get. I'm waiting for like a pamphlet or something. I didn't know. This is my first time doing this, so I was like, all right. Well, I had to do it again for my daughter. So,
okay, ladies, you got anything you want to tell me?
I leave it up to Xavier.
Can you translate for me, Ms. Van Dusen?
She said that she's leaving it up to Xavier.
Okay.
What he wants to do.
How about you?
I told Xavier whatever he wants is what I'll go with. He's old enough to make his own decision. He spent time with his dad.
Okay. Well, in years past, he stated to me he didn't use the word reluctant, but my notes are that he was reluctant to go live with him. But I'm glad he's had a chance to spend the summer. So you're still thinking you want to do that when Dad gets his stuff together, Xavier?
I'm talking to you.
Stay, no.
Say that again.
Staying, no. Maybe visit again.
Okay, so you don't want to go move to his house yet.
No.
Okay. But did you tell your dad you did? It's
At one
okay. People change their mind all the time. So
At
it's
one
okay.
point, yes, but then I changed because after I said yes, I felt like it was different.
What was different?
Staying there. I don't know why.
Well, did you have a good time there?
Yes.
Did he feed you?
Yes.
Did he look after you?
Yes.
Did he spoil you?
Did he spoil you? Kinda.
Did
Yeah, I
he,
don't know
did
about
he-
all that.
did he leave you at home by yourself while he went out all night?
Oh no.
Okay. So he took good care of you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's been a long time since you've lived with your dad, so I don't blame you for having hesitation. I hope everybody keeps an open mind. What I'm going to do is let dad work on these things he's got to do, and us come back in the middle of the summer and see where he is. And hopefully you'll have spent some more time up there on a visit that y'all have to work out when to go and how to get there and all that stuff. And then when we come back, you will have been on that visit, or maybe in the middle of the visit. And I can see, I very rarely ever move kids when they're especially this close to the tail end of the school year. You don't have but a little over a month and you'll be through with school. What grade are you in? What grade are you in? There's the deal.
Big old.
What grade are you in, Xavier?
A.
Are you making good grades?
Yes.
No.
Last quarter, I failed one thing at the end of the quarter.
No,
No,
didn't.
one, you can check it. Math, I had a 73.
Is that
I
failing?
And you
No. I had a 69 and
I
let me
have
down.
an app called Aspen that links me to his grades in school, and he wants to argue about it, but he failed 2 classes.
One.
I took his phone for an entire month because he was failing 4 classes.
Okay. The power of the
So I
phone.
took his phone. He hasn't had his phone for a month. He got most of his grades up, but he was still failing 2 classes at the end of last semester. And this semester just started Friday, or this quarter just started Friday. And the grades that they have entered, he's still failing 1 class.
Okay.
But he still doesn't have his phone back either.
Okay. All right. Give me a date in July, Robin, please. Toward the middle to early part of the month, because school here starts the first week of August usually. Xavier, everybody says they want you to decide what you can do or want to do, and that's good in a way, but it puts a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, and you're in a position where you don't want to make anybody mad. You want everybody.
Well, we've told him.
Please don't interrupt me, please.
I thought you were done talking.
No, I wasn't. I want you to think about it. I don't want you to have to make a decision. You may not have made a decision when I see you in July, but the ultimate decision is mine. You're old enough where I'm interested in knowing what you feel about it and how you feel about it. I cannot guarantee you that I'll do what you decide you want to do. Okay? Because we have laws in Georgia, and I'm sure Indiana has very similar laws that give a presumption to kids should be with their parents. Obviously, there are lots of exceptions to that. But I want you to enjoy a good summer visit, maybe not as long as the last one. I don't know how long it was, so it may be as long. But I want you to get up there for a few weeks. And so that when we talk in July, and these adults know that they don't need to be putting pressure on you about what you want to do, or start offering you, if you do this, if you come with me, I'll give you this, or if you come with them, I'll give you that, or whatever. Okay. So you think about it. And like I said, keep in mind that I'm the one that has to make the decision based on everything. How dad has gotten his act together, it sounds like. It was in the process of getting it together. And I understand he's been out of your life for probably the better part of the life that you remember having. So, so the date I have is July 16th at 2:00. Okay. Now, what did you want to tell me, Ms. Van Dusen?
Oh, I was saying that we've explained to him that if he does want to go stay with his dad, that we would make sure everything he needed to get down there and everything would get it down there. He didn't have to worry about any of that. But it was his choice. We wouldn't get upset.
Okay, that's good. All right, we're going to do this on Zoom since everybody is spread out. July the 16th.
I got it set.
Mr. Easton, you got some homework to do.
Yeah.
And you got to get it all done and give it all to Ms. Schrock so we can give it copies to everybody before we come back on July the 16th. And I need to make sure, Ms. Van Dusen, are y'all moved to Marietta? Are you still?
That's our mailing address.
Well, does that mean you don't live there?
No, that's just our mailing address. We live actually right down the street.
What is this? That's
a non-for-profit that collects our mail for us.
Why are they collecting your mail?
Because we still live at 26.
Oh, you're still in a motel?
Yes.
So what school system does he attend?
He goes to middle school.
Is that City of Marietta school system?
Yes.
Okay. But if we want to send you a copy of this order, we're going to send it to 255.
Yes.
And all three of you live there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ms. Rock, you have anything? Any questions for any of the parties?
No, sir, I don't.
If you draw me a real short order of what we're doing and what Mr. Easton have remaining to do on the initial order I entered a couple of years ago, and that they're to cooperate in agreeing to a extended summer visit. It doesn't have to take from end of school till this hearing in July. It can be just 3 weeks in June, whatever is reasonable. Does he participate in sports of any kind, extracurricular activities during the summer?
I had him in
One at a time.
I'm sorry. Why it was
sometimes he does soccer during the summer. Last year he was supposed to go to camp, but ended up not going because he went to Indiana.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all work all that out and take what Xavier wants to do as far as his soccer career. But I still want him to have time at Dad's, okay?
Yes.
All right. Y'all take care. Subject to a private dependency case filed in 2022. It resulted in temporary custody being awarded to Kimberly Dobson. We're conducting this periodic review of that placement virtually over Zoom. Ms. Dobson is with us. And the guardian ad litem attorney for the children, Ms. Miller, is in Superior Court. And so Ms. Trock from her office is filling in for her today. I think are the kids with you?
I have the girls are, yes, sir. Braden is in a treatment center in Savannah.
What's the name of the treatment center?
Coastal Harbor.
Okay.
It's for mental health.
Yeah. I didn't know they took he's 12?
He's 13.
Okay. All right. Did he get in trouble?
He since August, he's had a series of issues, saying he was going to hurt himself, kill himself. Back in, well, actually on September 11th, he and another boy decided to run away from school, which kind of started the big snowball.
Okay. How long has he been down there?
He has been there since December 15th.
When's he due to be discharged?
He does not have a discharge date currently. We had a family session this morning and they're hoping for July, but he has not gone more than he's on day number 8 without getting into a fight or trying to hurt himself.
Mhm.
So usually it doesn't last longer than about 10 days. So I'm hoping that this time we'll go longer than 10 days before he tries to hurt himself or gets into another fight.
Okay. Well, how are the other Addison and Brindley? Are they doing okay?
They're doing okay, yes, sir.
Did they see their mother, Miss McKeever?
No, sir. We don't know where she's at currently.
How about John McKeever?
No,
Putative father.
no,
You don't know where he is and they don't hear from him and they don't try to contact him.
no. We don't know about him.
You don't know where mom was living now?
No, she was homeless for a significant amount of the time last year.
And when was the last time she?
I'm sorry. Can you hold on for just a second, sir? I'm sorry. Bradley, can you please walk back to your bedroom until I call you out here, please? Okay, please go right now. No, sir. She took them to our neighborhood pool on Memorial Day weekend. We let
Memorial
her
Day
take
last year?
of 2023, yes, sir. And she walked away from the pool that afternoon and we have not seen her since.
Okay. Well, it was in March last year that she wrote wanting her kids returned.
Yes,
And
sir.
we gave her some things to do, which she didn't do. And told her we would deal with it at this hearing, but she's not here. So I guess if she was on a wagon, I guess she's fallen back off the wagon.
Yeah, I'm not.
Substance abuse, mental health, all the above.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that, but did the kids ask about her?
They do.
Mhm.
So the kids aren't aware that John McEvers are biological father. And with everything that's
They think they
already,
don't have fathers?
no, they think my son is their father,
I don't know who your son is. What's his
John
name?
Dobson. That's the person that's raised them since they were babies.
Is he in your home now?
No, sir, he's not. He doesn't live here.
Where does he live?
He actually is currently living with my daughter, his sister, and they see him every weekend.
Okay. Well, don't you think they're old enough to know?
Well, I do, but with everything that's going on, I don't know that they could handle it right now. I know it's going to come out, but the thing is that it was never my story to tell, that she needed to be the one to tell them that. But now we're to the point that where they're going to have to find out. But right now, I need them to
Are they in any kind of therapy?
They were. Addison stopped talking to the therapist. So they said they weren't getting anywhere with her. So she stopped therapy back in.
Well, maybe hook them back up with a therapist who could help you broach that subject with them.
Yeah, and that was the other issue we were having, was finding someone else that would take them at their age. It was like they were either too young or too old. So it's been kind of a.
I don't think they're too young or too old. I've had kids.
Well, no, I mean, as far as the therapists themselves, it's like, oh, we only deal with people of this age, or we only deal with people of this age, and we don't have openings for anybody of this age. That's what I mean.
Okay. Since I saw you, March of 23, have you been charged with any criminal offense, arrested for anything?
No, sir.
Has
Okay.
DFACS come out and investigated any complaints about how you're looking after these kids or any other minor children that are in your care since I saw you a year ago?
The only time DFACS came out was when Braden said he was going to kill himself when he was at school.
Okay. Do they have an active file with you and Braden's now because of that?
No, sir. They closed it 2 days after they came out.
All right. Does he say why he's so unhappy?
According to him, he says it for attention.
He says, I'm not really going to kill myself, but I want the attention, so I'm going to say I'm going to kill myself.
Yes, sir. That's what he tells his current therapist. That I really don't mean it. I just say it because I want the attention.
Has he
So
ever
there,
taken an overt action?
no, sir. 2 weeks ago at the facility, he got upset and he tied a sweatshirt around his neck. I mean, he was on suicide watch until this past Sunday. And he bashed his head up against the wall till he had a nice little goose egg on his head.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like an overt act, somebody banging against a concrete wall.
Yes. But until that point, he had not ever done anything here, but he's been, like I said, he's been there since December.
All right. Ms. Schrock, do you have any questions?
No, sir, no questions.
All right. We're going to leave things like they are and come back in 2 years and see how things are. Okay?
Okay. Did you need to speak to the girls? They're here.
Yeah, if they want to speak to me, I'll be glad to. I don't, sometimes I don't. Sometimes people don't have the kids there even though they're supposed to. So,
Okay.
but if they're going to feel left out, by all means, bring them in and let me say hey to them.
Okay. Hold on 1 second for me.
Hello.
Put your bottle down, please.
Addison and Brindley. One all smiles and one creeping up.
Put your hand down, please.
How are you ladies doing?
Good.
My goodness, you're in a t-shirt and it was 30 below freezing this morning.
I took my jacket off.
Did you go to school today?
Yes,
Where do you go to school?
elementary.
Do you make good grades?
Yes,
Which are you, Addison or Brindley?
Brindley.
Addison, are you a good student,
Yes.
ma'am?
Yes.
You need
You
to
make good grades?
Yes.
No, you do not.
You wouldn't tell me a story, would you?
So we're struggling a little bit right now with middle school.
Oh, that's a big adjustment for the middle school. Middle school, first year is almost over. I would have hoped you'd adjusted sooner. So you're still adjusting.
Yes.
Anything either one of you want to ask me or tell me?
No, thank you.
No.
Okay, Ms. Rock, anything you want to ask him? Ms. Rock is your substitute lawyer, your regular lawyer, Ms. Miller, whom you've met and talked to, had to be in another court, so Ms. Schrock is filling in.
No, but I heard you guys were doing well and weren't having any issues. So no, I don't think I have any questions.
All right. Well, we're going to leave things just like they are, ladies, and we're going to come back on March the 17th, 2026 at 1 o'clock. That will be a live hearing.
Okay.
You get to come up to the courthouse. And all right.
Okay.
All right, thank
If
you.
it's a hardship to get to the courthouse, you can call and ask. I don't know who's going to be handling those at that time as to how they're doing them. So, but you can always ask.
Yes, sir.
Let me make sure I have
Yes,
you.
sir.
Okay. And you don't know anybody else's address?
No, sir. Now we are going to be moving. So do I just notify the
Yes.
juvenile court?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
You need to notify Ms.
Okay.
Miller's office and you need to notify the court's office.
Okay. We don't have a date yet, but the plan is to move sometime before school starts back in the fall.
Still in Henry County or somewhere else?
It'll be in Spalding County.
All right. All right. Thank y'all for your time, ladies. Thank you for joining us. Have a good summer, okay? It's
Hey,
not
thank
quite
you.
summer. You
Bye.
still got some schoolwork to do, but enjoy your summers.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Bye.